Subscribe to Automation Studio channel and hit on bell icon to get the new video notification, and it's absolutely free.
Hello everyone, welcome back. I'm Praveen. After a long time, I'm going to start a new series on appium. That will be appium with Cucumber, and it's a framework development series. So I'm not going to cover here setup part because in my earlier videos I have covered so many videos related to the setup. So you can watch them and set up your device. Here I'm using Mac, and I have already set up Android and iOS, and I have just started my appium server. What I'm going to do right now, I'm going to launch my appium server, and then I'm going to start my Android AVD. I'm going to use AVD. You can also use here your real device as well if you want. Okay, and once I will start my AVD, I will start my appium inspector. So everything I'm going to set up and start, right, and then I'm going to discuss over on the application which I'm going to use for this particular framework development series, so that you can also use the same applications, all right, for your practice purpose. Because most of the time people will ask, okay, from where to download the application, from where I can, which application I should use for the practice purpose. So such kind of complaints will be not there, right? So I'm going to show you where you can download the applications for iOS and Android. Okay, so here I'm checking the status of my device. It looks good to me, and now I will start my appium inspector, and after that I will show you from where you can download apk and simulator app.app file for your practice purpose. Okay, I'm going to start here appium inspector now. So it is launching, it's good. Now let me quickly take you to the Google Chrome, and here is the website. The link I will share in the description so that you can also access it. And now let me show you from where you can download the files. Right, you can scroll down further a bit, and you can see here is the apk file, here is the IPA file, and the third one is zip file. If you will unzip it, it will be a .app file for simulator. So apk file I'm going to use, and I'm going to use .zip file, because I'm going to use only simulator build. I'm not going to use the real device build. Okay, you can just click on them, the first and third file. You can download it in the form of a zip. You can place it in some folder, right, and we will use it for our automation purpose. I'm going to install it, apk file, in my simulator. So I'm going to use the adb command. So just open your terminal, type adb install, and drag and drop the path within the double quotes and enter. And this is how you can install your apk application. This is the best way to install. You can drag and drop also, you can do, and you can install, but this is the best way to install the apk file. Okay, so like that you can install the apk file and you can launch it, and make sure it is launching perfectly. So now we will figure out what is the activity and what is the package name for this particular application, right? So for this I have a special command here, adb shell dump sys window. So I will give you this command in the description box. Make sure this command is for Mac, and if you are looking for Windows, the command may be different. Another thing is that you need to make sure your application is in running state. If it is not in running state, it may give you the wrong information. Okay, so you have to open your application and then you need to fire this command. Well, let me show you it again. So my application is running and I am firing this command, and then you can see I'm getting the package and activity name. Now let's go to appium inspector and fill all the basic capabilities: automation name, platform name, device name, and here is the app. I can choose the file path, and I can locate my apk file like this. And now I will add app package, appium app package, and I will copy the package name from the command prompt where we just got it, right? So you can see here is the how you will find the package name. I will show you. So the first till the slash is the package name. You can simply copy and paste, and then you can type appium colon app activity, and rest of the thing after slash is a activity name. So dot main activity is our activity name. So like that you can mention, and then you can start your session. So now let's kill the app, and let's start the session and see if we are able to launch the session through our appium inspector or not. Yes, it is able to launch. That means setup is good. Let me close the session. Now let's do one thing. Let's uninstall the app and try to uh, run the session. Okay, let's see if it will be able to install the application by itself or not. Yes, it is installing the application and launching the session, so all things are good. So let me close it. So now let me add one more property called no reset. So you can add as a appium colon no reset, and its value should be boolean, so you can say true. Okay, and what it will do once this property is true, if your application is already installed, it won't install it again. So it will simply launch the application, it won't reinstall it. Okay, but in case if your application is not installed in your device, it will take the application from the path, right? What we mention here, let's see, this is the path. It will take the application from here and it will install it. Okay, so if you want, you can use this property as well. It is very beneficial capability which I generally use to save the time. Now you can save the capability, okay, for future use. So I have already saved it. So now our setup for the Android is good. Now I will launch my simulator and we will set up the same thing for the simulator. We will try to open the app in our appium inspector for simulator. So here I am opening my iPhone 15 simulator. Let me launch it. And my this simulator is working or running on iOS 17.5. Okay, so this is the iOS version I'm using here. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to use here this app file which I extract from zip file. How you can install it? Just simply drag and drop in your simulator, and this is how it will install it. Simple. Okay, so very simple mechanism. So this will always work in case of iOS simulator. You can try the same. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to modify the same thing and then I will save it. Okay, so I will tell you how to do that. So first you need to change the platform name. You can say iOS. Okay, and after that you can say automation name as XUI test, and now here you need to figure out the device name. Now the device name you can find in the top of the simulator, which is iPhone 15. You can type as it is, small I, capital P, and here is the version on which your simulator is running, right? So you need to mention it. It is mandatory here, so you can define appium and platform version, and you can define 17.5. So you have to mention on which version of simulator you are using, right? So this is the simulator version 17.5. Okay, once you do it, you can locate your app file. All right, and you have to remove app activity because app activity is not valid in iOS, and instead of app package you have to provide here bundle ID. Now where to find this bundle ID, right? It may be possible like this is not the same as app activity, right, or app package, right? So for that you need to go to your app sl.app file, right click on it, show package content, and here you need to look for info.plist file. Okay, so that file contains the information about the bundle ID. So here's the file. You can right click and open it in Xcode. All right, and once you will open in the Xcode, you will be able to see the detail of the bundle identifier. Okay, so just search here command F and type bundle identifier, and then you will be able to find it. So see, it is com.saucelabs mobile app. Yeah, here is that. So you can simply copy the value. All right, copy it. So you find your bundle identifier. Bundle ID means bundle identifier. You can close it now, and we can move it to our appium inspector and mention the value here. Okay, that's done, right? So we have everything in place, and now we will simply kill the application and we will try to okay, let me uninstall it. So let it install the app, okay, in the simulator. Just start the session. Okay, now you can see that application is already now installed. Okay, that's good, and it should launch it. And now the WebDriver agent is also installed, and here is the permission. It's fine to say allow, and it is launching our application like a charm. So here I use setup is also done, so we are able to launch simulator app via our appium inspector. So that means we are good to go with our automation. Now let's open idea IntelliJ and click on new project. So I am creating here Maven project, so it should be Maven, and I'm providing here name as appium cucumber TAF, test automation framework, TAF. All right, and it is going into this location. Okay, you can customize location if you want, and catalog I am choosing as Maven Central, and archetype just type simple and choose simple archetype. Click on create. Now it will take some time to configure your project. You will be able to see a tick. See, syncing is going on, and you can see the tick of the sync, means sync is completed. And this is how it will configure your Maven project. So this is simple Maven project which we have created. Okay, so it come with a form.xml file. So what we are going to do, in the left hand side we will close this. We have src, we have form.xml, and in the form.xml we will just delete this build section for now. And for now, instead of build section, I'm going to put dependencies section, where I'm going to put all the external dependencies like our appium and testng dependency inside this particular dependencies tag. Okay, so this is the parent tag. I'm going to keep child tags over here. Okay, now I have appium client dependency, so I kept here, and I'm going to refresh Maven. It is downloading. And in the similar way, I'm going to do it for the testng. So you can get it from the internet. Just on Google, you can type appium Java dependency for Maven and testng dependency for Maven, and that's it. And you will get it. So just put it, refresh your Maven project, and you are all set. I'm going to provide this dependency in the description section, so you can simply copy and paste in your project. Okay, now right click on our project, create a new directory, and we will name it as small apps apps. Inside this directory, I will keep my testing apps. So let's open the folder where we have downloaded the APK file. Right click on it, copy it, and paste it in our this particular apps folder. Paste. I'm going to name it as sl.apk. So this is how I want to keep it. In the similar way, I'm going to keep my app file also for my simulator app. Right click and paste. So you can see it's a .app file. This is for iOS simulator. I just keep it, so I have my app and apk file here. Now inside src, I'm going to test package, and here this file is already created by default, so I don't want this file. I'm going to delete it because this is a JUnit test and I'm not interested in JUnit test. I'm going to write testng, so right click and delete. So better to delete this file. Now I'm going to create a new package. I will call it com.sl.tests tests. Alright, so I have created a new package and I'm going to delete this old one. I don't want to use it. Now inside this package, I am going to create one new Java class. and I will say swag lab login test because this is my application name, so I'm giving the same name. All right, let's maximize it and let's add here public static void main. So here idea is we will simply creating a Java class, and within the public static void main we will try to initiate our test or run our appium code. Okay, once it is successful, then we will go into the next step, whether we are able to run it through the any unit test case like JUnit or testng. All right, so here I'm going to simply test. Okay, so nothing is there, but it's running fine, right, with public static void main. Now what I will do, I will start writing my appium code here. So let me open the appium inspector. All right, and we remember that we have already created the capability here for Android, right? This is the one. So I will simply click on pencil icon, and for now I will just copy all these details. I will simply copy it. Okay, control C or command C, and I'm going to minimize, and as a comments I'm going to keep here. Okay, so I will comment it. Okay, let it do like this. Okay, and I'm going to comment it. So what actually we need to do, we need a desired capabilities object, right? So we will write here desired capabilities object we need to create. Okay, and then once we will create it, okay, once we will create this object, then we need appium driver object. Okay, in appium driver we need to use our desired capability object. Okay, for that purpose we need it. Okay, now let's write. Okay, so create the object, class name is desired capabilities. We will say DCS object equal to new desired capabilities. Simply add it like this. So we created the object of desired capability. You can see it is coming from Selenium library, right? Okay, make sure you have done the proper import. And now using DC object, we have a method called set capability. So it use key as a string and object as a value. So this is what we are going to do. So first is key, and these all are keys, and we gonna use its values. Okay, so double quotes key comma double quotes value. Okay, so now I will show you how to put them, so you can count them and place it 6 7 8, right? I think 8 is there. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 is there. Okay, so first copy the key and then value. Copy value. Okay, copy the key in the double quotes, copy the value. So UI automator name is a string, and this device is a key, so I'm going to give here, and emulator is my device name, and here is my app key, and value is also in string, but I have changed the location of my app. So right click, copy, and here is my absolute path, and just give it. Okay, this is how you can give it. And now this is the key again. Now the true is boolean, so it's not a string, so I'm going to remove the double quotes and just say true. Okay, now the app package, just copy and paste, and this is the package name. I'm going to copy and paste, and here I have activity, just copy and paste the value. Simple as it is. So I have transformed my JSON capabilities into a Java object desired capabilities. So now I can remove it. Now the next thing is for the creating the object of appium driver, right? So simple. We will create the object of appium driver. We will say appium driver is equal to new, and here I need to use Android driver, right? So I will use Android driver. Okay, I can use appium driver as well. Appium driver is a generic, so it will automatically decide with what kind of driver I need, whether it's Android or iOS. Okay, so even I can use appium driver as well. Okay, it depends on you. Okay, it take the two parameters. So first is URL, so new URL into double quotes, and you need to handle the exception and import it. So import, and you can see here you will get one exception also. So you can simply handle it, malform exception, URL malform exception. Okay, and the second object will be desired capability object. So simply say DC. All right, here we need to provide the URL. So simply go to your appium server, and here is the URL. So from here you can simply copy the URL, okay, and paste it. Okay, now what we are going to do, so here our appium will initiate the instance of our application, but we need to hold it for some time, right? So first we will quit it, we need to close it, but it will start and frequently close it, right? So I want it will stay for some time on the screen. So in Java we have thread.sleep, right? So I'm going to use thread.sleep for 5000 means 5 seconds, 1000 millisecond means 1 second, right? So I'm going to handle the exception. Now I am done with the code, simple code which will launch my application, stay for 5 seconds and then close. Now I'm good to test it. So right click and run, and let's see it will initiate the execution or not. Yes, it is successfully running the application. Correct. So we are able to run through our Java code. We are success in this experiment also. Now let's move to the next thing. Okay, now Android side we are good. So we need to test now iOS side, right? So I will launch my iOS simulator, iPhone 15. And once it is launched successfully, then what I will do, I will copy the desired capabilities. Okay, I will comment the Android capabilities, and I will build in the same way for iOS. Okay, let me do that and show it to you. So just open the appium inspector and do the same thing for iOS. Okay, so I did that. You can see above code is commented. Now I will copy the driver part, and I will make it iOS driver instead of appium driver, and let's import it. Okay, so I commented the Android part, only iOS part is uncommented, so I'm going to test it. Simply I will run and see how it is working now. Okay, so here is a small correction. It should be bundle ID. I have just mentioned app package, so I corrected it. It should be bundle ID, and everything is good now. So now we can run it. Let's run, right click and run, and see it is running very fast without any issues. So this is also working fine. We are good with iOS and Android side. So till now we have verified like we are able to launch the application in appium inspector, then we are able to run our appium application with Java code, simply public static void main, and we are able to do that for iOS and Android. Now let's convert this particular Java code into test code. So I'm going to convert into the testng. So I will put at test, which will come from the testng library, and I'm going to convert public static void main into testng test. Okay, make sure you should import testng, and here I'm going to remove static public void, and I'm going to remove this argument, and also rename this method name test swag lab test, something like that. Okay, now it become a testng test. So now if I will save, right click and run, it will give me a testng option to run the test. Okay, right click and run, and you can see now it is running as a testng test. So we have used no reset property, so that's why we are not realizing like it's launching, right? So let me comment it out. So once we will run it, it will reinstall the app again. Yeah, we can see the relaunching the app, right? Okay, now what we will do, we will separate the test. So we have the testng test, right? We will create one dedicated test for iOS, one is for Android. Okay, so I'm going to create here at test. All right, and I'm going to create a new method, test method, public void, and I will say test Android. Okay, I'm going to separate the code for iOS and Android. So I simply copy and paste the Android code here. Okay, and I simply uncomment it. Okay, and I will move the Android part from here to Android section. Okay, uncomment it. All right, and yeah, and thread.slip and quit. Okay, I will move it here. Okay, I will add the exceptions. Okay, and here I will make the name as test iOS, so it will be very specific. This is for iOS, this is for Android. Okay, and yeah, I will import the another exception for URL as well. Now all set. Now if you will run, it will one by one run both of the tests. So let me quit the app. Okay, and if I will run the complete class, okay, so it will run iOS and Android. So let me run like this. Select the class name, right click and run. Okay, now let's see. First it should run I guess Android, because it will run alphabetically. Okay, yeah, Android. So it is running Android first, and once it is done with the Android, it will run iOS. Yes. Okay, so as a part of this video, we have successfully set up our iOS and Android environment, test environment. We are able to launch our app through the Java program, through the unit testing like testng, right? We are able to use our appium inspector also. In the next session, we will convert this automation framework into Cucumber appium Java framework. So thank you for watching this video. Stay tuned for the next video.